And so he worked hard to keep it with his older brother and sister. He was the first. He learned to walk at 8 months of age because he had to keep up with Doug and Mel. And I observed him. He wanted to climb up on everything. I used to watch him. He'd walk around the refrigerator trying to figure out how did he climb on top of it. Couldn't make it. But I'm just going to share with you 2 of his climbing events that nearly stopped my heart. Doug and David shared bunk beds. David was assigned to the lower bunk and Doug to the upper bunk. And I hid the ladder so that David couldn't climb up on the top there. And one morning about 3 a.m., I heard this thud, and I sat straight in bed. Of course, if you're a mother, you know exactly the first thing that goes to your mind. So I went to the girls' room, and they were both sound asleep. And I went to Doug and David's room, and there was David sitting in the floor. He was so dazed. I imagined, I figured out immediately what he had climbed to the top bunk and had fallen during the night. And so I didn't know what to do. I picked him up and took him to my room and took him to my bed. Well, I couldn't take him to the hospital because that would mean leaving the other children there alone. I couldn't do that, so I drew his horn, but I took him to my bed, and I didn't fall asleep, but he did. And the next morning, I put him in Margaret's stroller, and we walked down to the hospital. The doctors would not look at him because they said, if he fell at 3 a.m., why are you just bringing him here? I said, well, I couldn't leave the other children at home alone. They still didn't look at him. So I went back home and I called the AMA and asked for a doctor. And the first question they asked me is, do you have any money? And I said, yes. I had just gotten checked that Dad had to send us every other week. So I called the cab, and the cab charged me $10 to take David to a doctor. And when I got there, the doctor wouldn't look at him until I gave him $20. But he took the x-rays and he told me, he said, his skull is not cracked, he's fine. Okay, so that was a relief. That's the second thing the second fall he had that really, he was about 5 years old. The Board of Education was paying for any teacher who wanted to go and take the training for Head Start. And I wanted to go. So I enrolled the children on Day Start and left them home with their dad, who had to go to work every day, of course. And we were just there for 1 week, and the day before we were to leave, Brandy called. He said, Des, I'm going to come up and pick you up and bring you home. And I thought, boy, they're really missing me. And on the way home, he said, Des, I should tell you, David had an accident, and my heart went, oh, what is this time? And when I got home and I saw my son, I nearly passed out. His head was twice his normal size. And he was trying to smile, but it was hard. And I picked him up, and when I touched his face, he winced. I'm ready to sue this person who ran this daycare. But her husband was a friend of my husband, so okay. But David survived. I almost did not. I was going to tell you about his climb. He's a climber. That's his physical climbing. He's also an intellectual and academic climber. And you know about that. And what I'm going to do is let you see this when you go over to the reception. I've prepared a photographic collage of his climb from kindergarten through his 6th degree. I mean, there's another one, something that shows you about the 7th one. You know that he went to Tilburg in the Netherlands to pick up his 7th degree. And what I'd like to tell you is this. Now, the PhD is in academia is our top degree. But don't be fooled. Dave's going to find some place to climb a little higher.
Good afternoon, First First Church. And I'm sorry you had to stand so long. So no introduction of David Anderson Hooker would ever completely do him justice. Still, I'm going to attempt to offer you an introduction that will give you a little more insight to him in ways that you wouldn't ordinarily get. I won't give you the usual facts that you can gather from obvious sources, such as born in Cincinnati, Ohio, October 15, 1958, Randolph Hooker and Odessa Walker Hooker, such as he attended North Avondale Elementary School and Walton Hills High School, both of which gave him a foundation for lifelong learning, such as he graduated from Morehouse College, such as he has 4 master's degrees, including a Master's of Divinity, such as he has a law degree and a doctorate degree. And also the obvious, he has preached peace, he has taught peace, and he has mediated peace all over the world, including countries like Bosnia, Zimbabwe, Myanmar, and Sudan. Rather, I'm going to give you some insights into David through the hearts of a small number of people who are close to him. His niece, Randy, says, my uncle, whom I love so dearly, showed me that being a continuous student in life can pay, along with being a rewarding knowledge experience.
That's all right.
His nephew Douglas says, Uncle David is an inspiration. I've always admired the way he walks with purpose. He has a plan, a goal, and a philosophy that he consistently embodies. His actions and his words teach me to be more mindful of my thoughts and more deliberate with my advocacy. He gives me hope that there are people in the world who are still fighting for the betterment of mankind. His brother Darrell says he's a true scholar, learning and seeking knowledge not for power or money, but simply for the sake of having that knowledge and using it to make the world around him a better place. A true friend and a great brother. His sister Margaret shares this story, and it's a little long, but stay with me. From a young age, my brother was destined to live an interesting and unusual life. Why did I make this statement? Because David has always taken risks. Allow me to offer an example. Many evenings we would gather around the table, say grace, and dinner would commence. Correction. Many evenings, most of us would gather around the table. David, who enjoyed exploring the neighborhood of the woods behind our home with his trusty dog Sport in tow, would often return after we began eating. The breakfast room where we ate our meals during the week had a wall of windows overlooking our backyard, and oh, how the dinner conversation fell silent as we watched David round the garage, walking slowly toward the back door. The look on our dad's face as David willfully, sometimes defiantly, took his time getting to the door. I never said anything, but my eyes grew large as they darted between looking at the smoke coming from Dad's ears and the calm, seemingly unfazed expression on David's face. He knew he was in trouble, yet he either convincingly concealed his terror or he was resigned to the fact that not eating dinner that night was not the worst consequence in store. David would come in, sometimes reaching in the cabinet for Sport's dog biscuits, before he and his contrite canine companion would head for the basement. David and Sport would remain in the basement, sharing a few biscuits, until my dad called David upstairs to deal with it. But you see, punishment for breaking the rules did not prevent David from intentionally missing dinner on subsequent occasions. To continue exploring the woods on his terms, David was willing to endure no dinner, self-imposed banishment in the basement, kennel racing dog biscuits, and the dreaded lashing of the tongue and leather. In my 7 or 8-year-old mind, that was about the biggest risk I could imagine. David has gone on to take many risks with his career and sometimes with his personal safety in order to live an intentional, purposeful, meaningful, and needless to say, unconventional life. I don't doubt this next chapter will follow the same path. His sister Melanie, I'm coming toward the end. His sister Melanie, who couldn't be with us today, shares this remembrance. On the occasion of my return to school nearly 3 years ago, My brother David sent me a card reminding me of our shared and singular pursuit since our childhood to reconcile heart and mind as our faith sought understanding. Though following different trajectories, our respective paths have intertwined by sharing our poems, essays, and journal writings through our discussions of what we learned and refused to learn in seminary, and our wrestling with our respective callings through, to, and even against the academy. It is important that you know that David and I are just 13 months apart, not quite twins, but conjoined souls. We are flip sides of one coin. I funnel my thinking through a heart aflame for God's grace and truth. To me, David is the quintessential example of loving God with all one's heart through one's mind. He processes his passion for God's justice and peace through his brilliant intellect. As our paths continue to branch us out in different places to which God has called us, I know that our shared passions and pursuit will continue to keep us connected. David, the name David means beloved. His middle name, Anderson, means son of Anders, which is a Scandinavian variant of son of Andreas or Andrew, which means a manly man. So David Anderson Hooker is indeed the beloved son, grandson, and nephew of many manly men. Generations of men who raised, nurtured, disciplined, corrected, trained, taught, and loved him. And as you heard earlier, he is the beloved and treasured son, brother, nephew, uncle to generations of women. Through it all, he has long been and continues to be a man with his own vision, his own heart for God. He is a seeker of peace and social justice. He is fearless. He is unique. He is singular. And after the poetry reading and the musical lesson, I give you my brother and my friend, the Reverend Dr. Dave Esquire. In my fifth book, which will be released next week, Reverend David Anderson Hooker will tell you in his own words, so you'll have to get a copy.
David Anderson Hooker, such an authoritative name. You have come into our lives, and we are forever changed. A man of transformation, we met you in African garb and dreads, and now you're rocking the bow ties, and look at that beautiful head. Your intelligence, wit, and personality are yours alone and like no other. We know of your favorite people, especially that character, Mother. You challenge our very ideas on religion, which is a good thing for our brains, and it makes us think, perhaps you better go reread that scripture again. You magnificently state with fervor and with everything you have inside, by my very presence I declare that yes, God is alive. But before you preach, your quiet spirit emerges as you begin. You pause, we wait with eagerness, and then you draw us in. You teach your words of wisdom in a most effective way that assists in our relationship with God when we speak and how we pray. Never in one place too long, there is so much to do. And while doing God's work, David, please remember to always just be you. Continue with your travels, but you know to always pack light. For you never know when God will say, it's time, my son, take flight. You take a part of us with you wherever you may roam, and when you get weary from traveling, remember here, you have a home. We'll miss your friendly reprimands when you count to put us in line. But most of all, we'll miss when you say, it's offering time. You completed your task here, accomplished some goals. You came in a time of need. And for this, we are eternally grateful. David Anderson Hooker, Godspeed.